Dude, do you hear me?
Yes.
There he is, the legend himself. I really appreciate you doing this for me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, you look incredible.
Night and day.
Inc- wow, incredible. Like a totally different person. All right, let's jump in. How much how much weight did you lose?
I was just over 400 when we started and everything. I started the journey and I'm about 195 right now. And this is probably about it. And that's with extra skin. If I got any skin removal, I'd probably be even less.
Unbelievable. No words to describe. You know, when you reached out to me back then at this point, um, it was clear to me that you really weren't in the best place, or at least that's what I gathered. Um, we spoke about it in detail, when we had our first call. And obviously, clearly, when people gain weight, you're obviously eating, but it's what's causing people to eat that we determine to be the real problem with you. Like, go into that a little bit, and what do you think it was that was pushing you towards eating recklessly, let's call
I mean, well, especially with there's we eat when we're happy. It's in binging. I wasn't eating so much and not caring. Wasn't watching portion control. Wasn't counting calories. Wasn't looking what's in the food. I ate what I want when I wanted. I'm sad. I'm depressed. Let me eat. I'm happy. I'm celebrating. Let me eat. I'm gonna treat myself. I had a rough day. Let me eat. Today was fantastic. I did something great. Let me eat. You eat every, and it wasn't just it's the amount in not worrying and not caring what you're eating.
so what you're saying is that it's clearly an emotional. It's clearly like if your eating was emotionally driven.
Yeah, the binge eating. I mean, obviously, everybody need to eat to live,
Of course,
but the
yeah, of
binge
course.
eating, not caring, eating when you're bored, eating all watching. Think about it. When you go to the movies, you get popcorn. You eat when you watch movies. Nowadays, post pandemic, we have so much. Everything's at home. You can watch anything you want.
Said it.
Sit there for hours binging a show. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there sipping water half the time? No, you're going to want to eat.
Talk to me about that. You just touched on something interesting. How often, when you ate, were you actually hungry as opposed to just bored?
There was a certain amount of you think you're hungry, you feel you're hungry, your body's saying you're hungry, and at a certain point you're not hungry anymore. Now you're just continuing to eat. You're bored, you're thirsty.
Right,
I always have a water bottle or two near me. I mean, these are empty right now, but I always
right,
have something
right.
near my person. Just drink instead of eating. That's another big thing you learn early. Is well, let me try drinking first. Let me have some water. Let me have maybe I have Crystal Light or something, which you
Right.
can have if
Sure,
you're
of
to
course.
break up the water a little bit. But watching what I was not just eating before we talked. I was drinking sodas, drinking juices, loved full of
That's
sugar that
right.
are you know they're bad for you, but it's hard to stop because they're in front of you. It's easy. It's easy. Another thing, it's easy.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Change don't come easy. So even
Never.
if you do it for a little bit, you got to stick with it, and it's okay to bounce. It's okay. You're gonna have a day where don't have cheap and Instagram influencers, fitness influencers. They love to tell you this. That it's my
I don't
cheat
tell
meal.
you
It's my
this. Right.
but other people out there
Right.
will see on social media. Oh, here's what should I have for my cheat meal? What should I have for my cheat day? You have a bad moment. I don't even say a cheating moment or something. You have a lapse moment. You have a relaxed, I should not relax. That's the word I like to use to people. When
Right.
I talk, people ask me, you have a relaxed moment, but it's a moment. You, you can't just, well, I used to be the type that if I had a relaxed moment, I had a cheat meal,
Right. Right.
might as well just cheat the whole day. If I have a cheat the whole day, might as well, I'll start next week. We'll do the
Right.
weekend. You relax a little. Be strict during the week. You relax a little on the weekends here and there, but you don't make it. That's not your habit, and you don't have to have a relaxed moment where I have, you know, cake, where I'm having a thing of cookie, a sleeve of cookies. You have a relaxed
Right.
moment
Right.
at night.
Right. Right.
Okay, let me have a Nix makes ice cream that's a keto low. They make
That's
more
right.
than a pint of ice cream. The
I
bars, the
remember
bars,
we put you
perfect.
onto that. Right. Right.
Yeah, they put Outshine makes a no
Right.
sugar added ice pop that's fruity, delicious. It's a nice little treat at the end of the day, or zero sugar puddings, no sugar added puddings.
Right.
You have but those the ice pops you can kind of have. one a day. The pudding, yeah, have a couple times a week, but you can have certain things here and there, and it's a nice treat. It's sweet. It's it's not binging, not doing what I used to do.
So, like with all you just went into, it's clear that, when we found your macros and we put you onto we got you on the right calorie roadmap. You weren't hungry. You didn't feel like you were starving yourself. I never heard you complain about it. Not once. And it's because you were able to implement all the things that you just spoke of to fit into your diet, kept you under the right calories, kept dropping weight. I remember when we initially spoke, one of your biggest concerns was that I can't be hungry, I can't be hungry. It was almost like it was a fear of yours. I told you, you're not going to feel like you're hungry all the time. Because how we constructed your diet, I remember how we did it. We did it in a way that it was high in volume. You were eating a ton of food. That doesn't mean that the food contained a ton of calories. And with the examples you just provided, this is how you were able to stay on track for a very, very long time.
Protein, fruits, vegetables. You can eat things that'll fill you up more. And also, like I said, if you're hungry, there's times at night, if you think you're hungry, drink water. Have a drink.
Right.
Not have have water, have a little something. Don't have to have food. You're probably not hungry, you're probably just thirsty. There's a lot of times your body would just be thirsty. And at night you're gonna be a little hungry, and that you're gonna get used to that though, and that's okay.
Right.
It's the hunger pains people I used to bother me.
Right.
Was there a while I got hunger pains? Sure was. Push through it.
Right.
It sounds easier. Is it easier said than done? Yeah, but it's worth it on the other side. To not have back pain all the time. My back doesn't hurt all the time. My knees don't hurt. Yeah, they crack when I get up. Well, that's just because of getting older, unfortunately. My feet. I had plantar fasciitis and heel spurs. The heel spurs never the issue, as a podiatrist will tell you.
Right.
I still buy my shoes from Ortho Feet. But I can have shoes that aren't orthotics. I don't have to be in slippers. I have something on my feet all the time.
Right.
My feet don't hurt. I don't wake up in the morning and I'm in pain.
Speaking of that, during our initial call way back when, we were speaking about your weight, and I know that you struggled with it for years. Like, go into that a little bit about your struggle, about how long you struggled for, and about why you finally decided to put your foot down and make a change.
I struggled with it before my whole life. I was always a big kid, always heavy, always overweight. It's easy. It's easy to not change. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's not something bad with you. It's big. Everybody's different. I was a bigger person. I was comfortable. I didn't mind it. I also never felt it. It never bothered me. But you get to a point, it starts affecting your life. I couldn't do things I loved to do. Couldn't go to theme park and ride roller coasters. Couldn't ride anything. I can't enjoy. Going to the theater was getting hard. It was tough to sit where I want. If I didn't have an aisle seat, I wasn't dreading going to certain theaters. I can't possibly think of sitting there for 2-3 hours. And now they have shows that are 2 hours no intermission. Oh my gosh, forget it. It was in so much pain and becomes so intolerable. Now, no problem. I fit on everything. I can do whatever I want. You can go up and down stairs without losing breath. It's easier to get around. A lot of people now, you'll hear people, well, there was nothing wrong with you before. Well, I know there was nothing wrong with me before. I'm not the one saying that. I don't know why you feel the need to say that to me right now, but clearly you must have thought there was something wrong with me before, because I didn't.
Let me stop you for a second. That's interesting. When it comes to whether or not people feel there's something wrong with you, whether you might have felt there was something wrong with you, which you clearly didn't, because there was nothing wrong with you, so to say. And this is a personal question, but when it comes to society these days, painting, let's call them plus size people, as being okay being plus size. How do you feel about that? You're obviously okay being plus size, nothing wrong with you, of course, absolutely nothing. But is it ideal for quality of life? Was it ideal for you walking around for the majority of your life as a plus size person, as opposed to now?
And I know exactly what you're talking about. Is the body acceptance. I will use the finger quotes here.
Sensitive topic.
Body acceptance movement. There's nothing wrong with you. Love yourself. Love who you are. But that's on the inside. My one buddy put it perfectly. He goes, the outside might be changing. He goes, the ooey gooey inside is still the same. And that's the truth. You are who you are on the inside. Yeah, you're going to change a little bit. I know other people, as I was losing weight, were told I better watch. I was told people who lose. It's not that you get mean. It's that you start getting real, and you hear the way people used to. You hear the truth, and the society truly thinks of you, and it makes you angry. Go, there was nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with this body positivity movement in the sense that you need to love who you are because we are who
Absolutely.
we are. Everyone's different,
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it will help. You will feel better. Back doesn't hurt all. I'm a funeral director. We all have bad backs. Every single one
Right,
of us.
right, right,
It
right.
just but my back's not in pain 24/7 anymore. Your knees don't
Wow.
hurt. I'm not looking down that casket going, oh geez, that's gonna be me soon. I'm gonna be 48
Wow.
dead from a heart attack.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be that way. You should love yourself and want to be around here as long as you can. And you can still, like we said before, you can still have all the things you want to enjoy out of life. Everything in moderation is something
Right.
they say, but it's true. You can still have all of that. And that's what bothers me, the body positivity movement, is that it's not meant to be, but it becomes weaponized against people. People use it in that. I saw one girl, somebody sent me a video. It might have been YouTube, Instagram, whatever it was.
Right.
She was listing off of the chains of hotels, how they need to make this bigger and the hallways bigger. That's no, whoa, whoa, whoa. The world around you doesn't need to change. You do. You need to accept this is how it's going to be. If you want to be yourself, that's fine. No one's telling you have to change.
Wow.
But the world doesn't have to change
Very
around you for
powerful.
you to be who you are. You have to accept that, and you have to be okay in this world. Something
Self-improvement.
I've never had a problem with. But I've always been a bigger person, so I was okay with that. But that's just a societal thing in general. Is everything has to change for you? Where no, society isn't just the problem here. You are.
Very, 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 very powerful. So now that you are this slimmer, thinner, hotter version of yourself, you made
Passwords.
you made a comment to me a few weeks back. We were on text, and we've talked about this over the months anyway. You said, "I feel attractive." That was powerful. Like, what does it feel?
I used the word conventional in there, not to take that away from you. I did use the buzzword of conventional.
You did.
I said conventionally attractive.
You did.
Because there's many different types of attract. Again, not that I'm saying I was unattractive before, but conventionally everybody, the attractive is a very subjective.
Let's be honest.
You find attractive, I won't.
Let's be honest. What you were telling me was that, Rob, I feel hot again. It made me smile. It made me feel really happy for you. Talk to me about what it feels like to have developed confidence that you haven't felt for a very long time, and to be able to utilize that towards things like dating.
I would even go for not even a very long time. Again, I've always been a bigger person. Ever. Just, I know how the way society saw me, now, especially now, I was never conventionally attractive, if you will.
Right.
It affects you though. I'm a little bolder now, especially with dating. Oh, listen, dating in 2024 is difficult. It's a lot of online. You're a lot of swiping. It's a lot of you're not talking face to face anymore. People go to go to a bar. People don't meet bars anymore. And it's to try to meet somebody at a bar. Now you're hooking up. Now you're hooking somebody to hook up with them. You're not trying to date.
Right.
There's a whole thing about that. People going out to have fun. They're not looking that. They want to go out and have a nice night out.
Right.
And I certainly don't drink anymore, so that takes things. I can, but I'm choosing not to. Takes wind out of your sails right there, because it's hard to stay at a bar with a lot of people drinking a thing of water, going, well, this is fun right now.
Right. I've always done it. Let's each his own. I've always done it. To each his own.
Well, the temp, it's all really, but it's just different. If people want to go out and have fun, they're not necessarily looking to meet people. You'll meet people around, but a lot of it's dating. I live in New Jersey. My maps, of course, everything across the river makes things hard.
New York.
But I actually have a date coming up, which is a good feeling.
Look at you,
it's a
bro.
lot of. And before you're mentally thinking one thing, and again, a lot of losing weight, like everything, a lot of it's mental. Once you break through the mental dam, and it's still going to affect you, and it's going to change as you go, and you got to just accept certain things. You got to have mantras, just accept that. It's okay. I had a bad week. Oh, maybe I didn't lose a lot of weight this month. That's okay. It's still going to come off. Stick with it. Stay consistent and stick with it. When it comes to dating, it's okay for them to not like. Just same way it's okay for me to not like them. It's okay for somebody to say, "You're
Absolutely.
not my type." You know what? I'm not. I'm glad we recognize that. Even if you have a bad day, say la vie up. Oh, peeps. I'm messaging people. They're not messaging you back. That's okay. And maybe you're talking and things. I'm not vibing it anymore. They're not going to vibe you. You're not vibing them. Save each other time, and that's okay. It's okay to not be everybody's type. Where in the past it would certainly feel like, oh, well, you're not really my type. Oh, it's because I'm fat. That's the first thing. The first thought popped up into my head. Oh, it's because I'm fat. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't, but it's okay for them to feel
Yeah,
that
but
way.
now you seem to be in a place where if somebody says you're not my type, you're confident enough and secure enough in yourself to not go to, oh, it must be because I'm fat. You're just taking it as, I guess I'm just not her type.
Yes. That's also because if I said that now, okay, there are phrases that have just been part of me for my entire life, especially my entire adult life that I used to say, and some of it was about weight. Um, Especially the phrase that we say, "Not my fat ass," was a phrase that I would say all the time. Yeah, I've been checked for people have been like, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's just ingrained into me. But I've had people be like, I've had straight, but I actually was on a date where I said something like that. Someone's like, huh? I'm like, by the way, okay, we need to have this conversation now. They were almost insulted. I'm like, no, I'm allowed to say that. And I'm like, oh, I guess you don't know who I used to be.
You've obviously come a really long way, man. Talk to me about the journey in general and about the ease of implementation that the peak method, kind of the way that it guided you throughout this journey. Because initially, when we spoke, you said, dude, I don't know what to do, but I know I need to do something. So we sat there, we kind of created a plan, we curated something that was custom to you, and I kind of walked you through how the peak method worked. How did the four phases make it easy to follow and just keep you on a system that just you just plow away at it, one thing after the other,
Well,
sustainably?
in a sense, it's like people tell you when you want to make changes in something. So like in anything, people want out of life. When they're losing weight, starting a bit, whatever they all say, you got to. If you read a lot of the self-help books out there and things, what are they going to say? They're going to say set goals, set a thing, take the time. You want to have, and that's kind of what the peak method really did. You start doing things in steps, set steps, set goals, consistency. Start it, make a plan, follow a plan, and it does work. The
Talk.
work you one thing, big people, I was no different. I'm doing a lot of the stuff going to the gym necessarily,
Yeah,
and a lot of that's a timing thing.
right.
Things of my personal life, the way things have gone, it made it very difficult when I was doing this to have the time with running funeral homes to go out to being on call to go out to a
Absolutely.
gym. It
Absolutely.
wouldn't be conducive. Well, by the time I get to the gym and halfway through, got to take this. Let me go outside of my car because I can't talk in here. Up,
Right.
back out I go. Back out.
Right.
It would kill. It would. Oh, by the time this is really wasting my time. What am I doing?
Right.
Downstairs, hit the treadmill, 45 minutes a day. Boom. 45 minutes, no big deal. A lot of that, and that's calorie burning. That's what helped me. That's what worked for me.
Right. I
We
remember we worked
discussed,
that
that's what we
in.
found out
Yeah,
that's
right.
what worked for me. A lot of that was how I lose the calories and everything. Oh, tripping on my words there.
And let's be clear about the kind of cardio that you were doing when you did it. You weren't running marathons. You're just walking.
No,
You're just walking.
walk the walk the dog, check the get a fitness
Steps.
tracker to check the steps throughout the day. Is that perfectly accurate? Of course not, but it's better. I've had people, oh, that's really not fully accurate. Is anything
It's a
fully
good
accurate?
guesstimate. It's a good
It's
guesstimate.
helping. It helps. It helps.
Right.
It's an accomplishment when you see that 10,000. They tell you 10,000 steps a day. When you
Right.
realize, oh, I do that. I do that. There's a lot of days. There's some days I work when I'm not as busy at work and
Right.
not.
Right. Right.
But I do. There's a lot of days where I'm definitely surpassing that.
Of
It
course.
helps. On vacation, going down to Florida, seeing that I walked 30,000 steps before midnight, and that's one day.
It's crazy.
Between 10 a.m. to midnight, before it rolls over, before I did more. I mean, ridiculous amount of steps when I was on vacation. I really realized, like, oh wow, no wonder going down here is good. I can eat whatever I want right now and not feel guilty about it on vacation.
Dude, let's wrap this up so we don't bore everybody, but I want you to give everyone out there your greatest takeaway from the peak method, like outside of the weight loss. What has it done for you that's been the most meaningful? That's a loaded question. I got to ask it though. What has it meant to you to be where you
I
are?
mean, well, because a lot of it is with the weight loss, but it just in a way I would say my it has taken any health problem that was pre-diabetes and all sorts of things that could have been in
Right.
front of me and eliminate. It's really given it. I hate to. I can't believe I'm about to use this phrase. I actually want to gag about to say it. It's a new lease on life. Oh, it sounds so corny, but it's true. Again,
It's kind of
I
true.
went down to Universal. I walked up to Velocicoaster and I stood there looking at this. The test seat they hidden behind the bush, a bunch of big bushes. I looked at it and said, "I'm not sure. We're just gonna try. Forget the test seat. Let's just go forward and see what happens."
Right.
I sat down in that seat. The train pulls into the station. I pull the harness down. No question. There wasn't a single question about me fitting on this. I fit
It's
on
amazing.
everything. Things I haven't ridden in years, and there was no. And I know that's not
Wow.
everybody's motivating factor. I'm wearing. I wear clothing, and this isn't gonna. Oh, it does fit. How about that? You're buying things that are still too big for me because you're thinking it's
You
the whole
feel,
mental thing. It just
you
really
think you're
gives a
still
whole
that size
different
almost,
outlook
right?
on life because I'm doing things I never thought were possible. But they were the whole time. My only regret, I didn't do any of this sooner. And that's the truth. They say, life is short. It's long, but it is short. And
Right.
I regret not doing something sooner.
Bruce, I appreciate you doing this for me, man. You look absolutely incredible. I'm super proud of all the work you put in. I don't want to take the credit. It's all you. I thank you so much.
Many people have told me when I'm talking, like, you don't give yourself enough credit because I'll say things. I'm like, yeah, well, I had help and I have a good support system. Like it is, and at the end of the day, not because, well, that's because I don't want to come off cocky. Oh yeah, but do the work, stick to it. The weight comes off, you feel good. Losing weight feels good. Just seeing a compliment, just knowing that one thing that, again, back to self-help books here for a second. One thing they'll tell you in self-help books, you do something to accomplish it. Is every day going on the treadmill easy? It's not. I'm not going to say every day. Like, I think
Right.
you hear everybody
Right.
say,
Right.
doing,
Right.
but you accomplish something. And at the end of the day, they tell you that's one thing. As long as you felt like you accomplished something today, was a good day. Most people will say that's why you should make your bed in the morning. I'm not the type of person that's ever going to make my bed. Uh,
That's
but
okay. That's okay because you made it your business to save your own life. So you're
yep,
forgiven for the bed.
yeah,
Dude, I appreciate you doing this. We all appreciate you. Thank you. You look amazing, man. We
thank you.
appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Absolutely.